Speakeasy as we introduce ourselves. I'm Kaleem Abdullah. Just going around counterclockwise.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This boy Zeke, gonna speak easy. It's your boy GP the Showboy, one love, baby.
DJ P. Better Records. You know what I'm talking about?
And our special guest joining us, gospel artist Barbara Cox, who you're going to get to know this evening.
Hey.
Amen. Praise
Amen.
God. Amen.
Welcome. Welcome.
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we're back in the rabbit hole to the underground. Got a special guest today. Speakeasy Nation, y'all be set up. Make sure y'all tune in. Y'all gonna miss a treat.
Yes, sir, baby.
We told y'all we was gonna change up, so I mean, we did just that.
Yes, sir.
Let's give Barbara a chance to tell us about herself, get to know Barbara. Who is Barbara Cox, and what can we expect this evening?
Praise God. Praise God. Barbara Cox is just a woman that loves, I love God. And I love the person that He has allowed me to be. I'm a mother of 2 children. My daughter's in college and my son is in high school. So I'm grateful for the gifts of my children. Gospel recording artist. I'm a songwriter, been writing since I was a little girl.
Where are you from?
From the great city of Marshall, Texas.
Marshall, Texas. Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Wiley College. Yes. So, just grateful radio personality. I'm also an author. I've been blessed to write 4 books and 1 children's book, and I'm working on another one.
Tell me a little bit about those books. What are they called?
The 3 books. There's 3 books that's called Sing Gal Sing, 1, 2, and 3. And those,
Sing Gal Sing.
Yeah, Sing Gal Sing.
What's that? What's that about?
Well, my father, when he first heard me singing, he said, "Sing, gal, sing." And back in that era, they didn't really say girl; they said gal. So, yeah. So it was sing, gal, sing. So after that, so when I began to write the stories, I began to hear my father, who's deceased, and I began to hear him say, "Sing, gal, sing." So as I began to write, I ended up with a 3-part series, and that's what they're titled. And then the children's book is titled "Hear Me Roar," because when I was a young girl, probably about 6 or 7 years old, I remember being teased, bullied about me because I always loved to sing. I was always singing, and I was told to shut up.
They bullied you about that?
Yeah, and you know, and
about being able to
we didn't
sing?
even know anything about like bullying, like you have bullying now. But once somebody told me to shut up, I did exactly that. I stopped singing. So for years I didn't sing, and even I have peers that didn't even know I could sing until as an adulthood. That's sad, but it's true. So I ended up writing a children's book, and that's the children's book titled "Hear Me Roar," because I'm that person now. If you tell me I can't sing, I'm just gonna sing even louder.
You will be heard.
You will hear me roar.
So speaking of your singing, walk me through your discography. What albums, what songs have you put out?
Oh, I started recording back in 2000. My first album that was released in 2000 is titled Guardian Angel. And there's a song titled Guardian Angel that was written for my mother. But then there's like 10 songs on that first CD. And then I went from there to another album that I was able to write like 2 years, that I was able to record like 2 years later. So I've done a total of 5 albums. Yes, okay. 5 albums since 2000. So
and more to come.
Yes.
And where do you perform, Barbara?
All around the world. All around the world. I'm getting ready to travel to South Carolina again to sing, and then I'll be going to Atlanta, Georgia in November. And I'm just always traveling. I've been to Vegas and just wherever God allows me to go.
So most of the things you do is the gospel genre, right?
Yes.
Churches, concerts?
I don't do a lot of churches anymore.
Okay.
I kind of got away from doing a lot of the churches unless they're having like a concert at the church. I go, my passion now is just traveling to different parts of the world and going to in the concerts. I love women's conferences. I just want to be able to, not saying that I don't go into the churches, regular church services is like, you just, it's just something different when you're in a concert or a conference. You just have a chance to really, really change people's hearts and change their minds, and just, because when you've been doing it for so long, it's different. It's totally different when you go to other areas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you say Atlanta? You say Atlanta?
Yes, Atlanta, Georgia.
Wherever God leads.
So do you like anything like Woman Girl Loose? Okay, yeah, like
They
don't
do.
have a country?
They
I
do.
thought they do it
Uh huh.
every year.
That's what TD Jakes.
Yeah.
He does it every year, mainly in Atlanta, Georgia. I haven't had an opportunity yet, but just
Have you
never know.
have you
But I've been
met
on the- Go ahead.
have you met or worked with any artist names that we would recognize?
Yeah, my good friend Carolyn Trail, I opened for her. I opened for Dorothy Norwood.
Okay,
I've been on the Dr. Bobby Jones show.
really?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay,
yes,
big time.
Yeah. I'll be
and
seeing
scheduled to
them on
go
TV.
back. Hmm.
Yeah.
What's coming up next?
What's coming up next is Saturday. Woohoo!
What's happening Saturday?
Going out?
My single "All Right" will be released on Saturday, September the 7th. Also, we will have a music video on Saturday at the Glass Recreation Center at the Amphitheater here in the Rose City of Tyler, Texas.
Hey.
It's called
TYL,
All
baby.
Right's the name of the song,
It's
right?
called "All Right."
Right.
And so the release of the song and the recording of the video is the same
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 day,
day, Saturday,
same day.
in Tyler. Where are we going?
We're going to the Glass Recreation Center at 8:30 a.m.
Okay,
and y'all gonna be there.
Oh,
absolutely.
We're gonna be
Okay.
their number one fan.
All right, amen, amen. Praise God.
And you picked the right spot to do that. So we on the same page there at the Glass
Yes.
Center Saturday morning at 7 o'clock for the single release and the recording of the video. Who's recording the video?
Mike in Motion. His name
Mike
is Michael Dean.
in
but it's
Motion.
Mike in Motion. Mike
Okay.
in Motion, and he's awesome. He's an awesome videographer. He has the vision of when you bring him a song or an ideal, he just takes it and he can really cultivate it and just run with it.
So where's Mike from? From East
He's here in Tyler. He's in here. He's here in Tyler.
Great.
Tyler,
It's
Texas
great. It's
again.
local.
He's local.
You know, we all like him sometimes.
Yes, you can meet him Saturday.
If you if you have his contact information, we're going to get that from you so that when we post this portion of the video, we can make sure that we put that
Yes.
on the screen. Put his information on the screen.
Get him on the show.
Mike in
Yes.
Motion, yeah.
Oh, definitely, definitely. He's awesome. He's like I said, this is to be the second video that he's actually worked with me on.
Okay.
And a little bit later on, you're going to bless us with a preview, our own sneak preview of All Right
Yeah.
in the booth here behind me.
All right.
In the meantime, we're just going to get into just what's happening.
Yeah. But
What's happening here on this Labor Day? Anybody work today?
Oh no.
Oh no, nobody worked today. It's supposed to be Labor.
I did a little work around the house.
Why is it Labor Day but nobody works? Well, the reason why that is it's about the workers. It started back in the 1800s.
I think 1894.
Yeah, 1894 you're exactly right, to recognize the contributions of the American worker. And I believe that that grew into what we know as the labor movement today. Which, I mean, look for the union label. If you ain't got a union job, get you a union job.
Oh, yeah.
That is, I mean, the benefits, or, I mean, they're a whole, the union has saved me several times and given me many opportunities. I've worked with a union and without a union,
Yeah.
and with a union is way, way better. Get you a union job if you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I've been there for 20 years. I hadn't left yet. So, hey.
25 of us.
Yeah.
That's good.
25.
Yeah.
I think I've been on a job that long.
I've been telling people at work we need to start a union, but
Need to start a union, yeah.
Wow.
I know that's a bad word though at work though. Like
Yeah.
you can't bring it up if there's not one.
And I think that's because the company knows that they're gonna have to break that bread
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
if you have a union. So they'll try to keep you from doing that if if they can. And along with Barbara in the studio, we're also looking for all the talent we can find. There's so much a big pool to fish from as far as talent in Tyler alone, let alone East Texas. But there's a whole, I mean, just about any category of music you want to name: country and western, rock and roll, new music, old music, hip hop. I mean, it's here. It's just a dream of mine, just in my imagination, organizing all that together and making Tyler like a Branson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where people come from all over to come to Tyler for entertainment. Comedians. Speaking of comedians, I got a joke for y'all. There's a little kid, 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. They're getting ready to go downstairs for breakfast. And the 6-year-old tells his little brother, you know what? I think it's time we started cussing. And the 4-year-old said, yeah, let's do it. So the 6-year-old said, well, let's go down, and I'm going to say something with damn in it, and I want you to say something with hell in it. 4-year-old's excited. Yeah, that's where we go. Let's do it. So they get downstairs, they sit down at the breakfast table, and the mom asked the 6-year-old, what do you want for breakfast, honey? And he said, I don't know, Mom. Hell, just give me some of them Cheerios. Slapped him in the mouth, knocked him out the chair. He slid across the floor, got up crying, and ran back upstairs. Then she looked at the 4-year-old and said, what do you want? He said, well, you can bet your ass it ain't Cheerios.
Oh man, they so
So we're looking for comedians too that are much better at it than I am. I mean, hopefully you've got some stage experience, but even if you don't, you just might be the funny guy at work. You know, come on, yeah. So you know, this could be your big break. So we're looking for singers, comedians, just talent in general.
any kind of entertainment. You
Entertainment.
you entertain yourself for fun, like I do a lot of times when I'm GP the showboat when I'm on stage. But,
Right.
When you call my government name, Gregory Prince, I do acknowledge it. And I
Okay.
do know it. GP is just something they just shorten my name, GP. My dad used to like it. I was flamboyant, arrogant, fishing and playing with my cousin, and my also like radio became my second nature.
Right.
Speaking of Miss Barbara Cox is in the studio. One of our alumni, Timothy Jackson, he wants to know, how did you get your books noticed?
All right, good question. Very hard to do. Easier said than done, right?
How did I get my books noticed?
Yes,
Well, actually, I think that when you publish books, you have to do a lot of book signings. So I do a lot of book signings, and the children's book, I can honestly say, is the one that get most of the notice than the other ones, because I go into a lot of the schools and I read to the children, and so I do a lot of marketing with the children's book. My other 3 books, I pretty much have to get out and do book signings. And when I'm on, and with me being a recording artist, that helps too. So when I have my table set up with my CDs, I actually incorporate my books. So it's really a hard thing to do when you're published author. My passion is just making sure that my books, just like my songs, are actually released to where people can actually go online and order them.
Okay.
But it does take a lot of work for people to know that those books are even there. So that's why a lot of times I'm always marketing my books online, on social medias. You have to market to just so people know that it's there.
Got to put in work.
Hey,
It's
Tim,
a lot of
when
work.
you're taking notes, it's a lot of work. You got to market.
Yeah.
Get back with us. Let me know. Hit me with a comment. Anybody else in Speakeasy Nation? She's here. We live. We Facebooking live. We in the studio.
Yeah.
So go ahead and hit them with the number, Sid.
You know what I'm saying? You can reach us at 1-Speak-7-36-77. That's 1-773-257-3677. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the little number down here at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? For y'all watching the show live right now on Facebook, we are in the studio. That's 1-Speak-7-36-77, 1-773-257-3677.
And we just taking a look at what's happening in East Texas and in the world around us. And here we go again. There was another mass shooting in Odessa, Texas, Midland, Odessa, football capital, over the weekend. And the cops did get this gunman. Fast forward to today, right here in Tyler, Texas, there was not a mass shooting. There was a potential shooting at the Walmart at I want to say, was it the one at 110 and the Loop?
Highway 31.
31 in the Loop. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Almost. Some cops or somebody, I don't know the whole story yet. Somebody somehow intervened and kept that from happening, because that could have been another Odessa right here in our city. Thank goodness it wasn't. The guy that they got in Odessa, he was a truck driver, had just gotten fired from his job and went postal, as they say.
But then they pull him over as a routine traffic stop.
It was a traffic stop that went bad.
And signal, they say failed signal.
Yeah, and then he left the scene, and was it a mail truck?
Yes.
Killed a mail person, stole the mail truck, went on a shooting.
He was 29 years old.
29-year-old mail carrier. And in this case, just like every time this happens, people are coming forward saying, I knew something was wrong with him. It's too late. It's too late by the time it happens and you knew something was wrong.
Right.
Why didn't you say something? One of my Facebook friends, O'Brien, remember O'Brien from the 80s, You and I, singer? He posted, the person on their way to snapping for the very first time doesn't show up in background checks.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That is so true.
Well, not really, GP. It's just that we're not good about, we're giving that, well, the snapper has rights.
Right.
And snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
Okay, I know something's wrong with that dude, but man, I don't want to say anything because like me and Alan were talking earlier, well, what if the cops come? Well, what if the cops do come?
Right.
Okay, if he's not crazy, they're gonna know pretty quick.
Right.
If he does have a problem, they're gonna know that pretty quick. Two things we're not doing. We're not saying anything in time to prevent these things. And I tell you what, there was help available for this guy in Odessa that if he had gotten help, whether it had been therapy, whether it had been medication, whether it had been a combination of both, that whole thing could have been avoided.
Right.
Because of people standing back and saying, man, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't want to say nothing. Say something.
Right.
Say something. If it's too dangerous to say anything to them, say something to somebody.
Right.
Watch this guy over here. I don't know what's going on, but something is up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Yeah.
And everything I'm saying might be completely wrong, but I'm just saying what I would do.
Right.
I call crazy crazy.
Yeah.
I know crazy when I see it.
Well, they said this guy had an AR.
I
shot.
own one of those.
Injured about 22 people.
Why, GP?
Well, I just like me. I grew up on the farm, so target practice, multiple rounds and wild hogs, whatever coming this way, that way. We had real bad problem with them, uprooting it down. That's what I use it for, that type of purpose. I never have pulled it on anyone. I never threatened anyone with them because my mouth, me tell you, may back up. You know, these background checks, they don't always show up. You can go out of state and go get a gun quicker than you can around here in this town. Guns and knife shows don't only happen over here at East Texas Fairgrounds. They happen in Longview, my car, and surrounding other cities. And you can buy any kind of clip, any kind of bullet to modify any kind of gun online. Cheaper than dirt.com.
Okay, my brother, you got an AR-15.
15.
What would you have if that wasn't available anymore?
I probably just have a regular domestic 12 gauge or something.
Okay.
Or something like that. But just for the multiple populations of the wild hogs getting in with the wild was getting with the domestic, we had a real bad problem with the feral hogs. And the dogs wasn't getting it. We losing dogs and they turn up the land and the main thing on the dam, we had a couple of trees there, and then once the dam ever breaks, it'll wash out everything back there. That's the only one. I hadn't even fired it in the last 2 years.
And nothing else would be as effective to handle that problem?
It probably would be, but
okay.
You want something reliable when you stir them up, they come in your way. You have to be ready.
Right. I understand that, but when I hear the name assault rifle, I'm thinking, why do you need that if you're not going to assault somebody? I mean, you've got I never heard that scenario before, but man, I wonder, all these people with these automatic weapons like that, man, can they do as much with less? Is it just convenience or
All it takes is one.
Exactly. All it takes is one. It'd be harder.
I had an R22 Uzi, and like I said, I never really used it. And
wow.
I had taken it, and I took it to Dallas. My cousin and they paid me for it. They ain't never used it. He was in the military. He just liked to have a high-power firearm in case something does happen. But as far as that, I'm in the right state of mind. I don't want to just end my life by taking somebody else's life.
Right.
I had my uncle was killed in '99. He was shot, beheaded, and burned, and that devastated me to the point where it drove me down the road I didn't like feeling. And I grew up with the cats. I never thought that would ever happen. And it devastated me to the point where, hey, I was going to train, working with towel on my head. I was going to work. I'm on the air. I'm going to be real because I'm GP. And I had Tracy working beside me. I'm coming to work. I know he smelled alcohol on me every day. I was drinking Hennessy straight. I used to keep it right here and have a towel on my head. Supervisor never bothered me. Nobody never knew what made me tick. But watching to see what gun violence does, or any kind of violence does to a person that didn't ask for that, you know, it does something to you emotionally. And then I watched my whole family on both sides. Strongest man I ever known, my grandfather. He was born in 1912. I watched the Channel 56 come out. They wanted to talk. I watched my grandfather cry, my dad cry, and they showed me, like, I'm above taking somebody else's life. If I can walk away, let me make it. If we get into it, I'll fight you all day long.
What do you think about? And I know Tracy's got something to add too. I'm gonna get to that in just a second. What do you think about stronger, stricter gun control laws that would keep you from having that automatic weapon? Are you in favor of that?
Sometimes I am, and then sometimes I feel like I need it.
You don't feel like they coming for your guns?
Well, I mean, it's just sitting there anyway. They came for it today. I hadn't lost anything. I paid
Right,
for it.
right.
I mean, it's hard. It's getting harder to even buy bullets for guns like that now.
Okay.
All the guns that people can't even pronounce, and they German Rugers and Lugers and stuff like that. Man, it's hard to buy bullets. But online, you can go online. You can go get them anywhere. Nobody will stop the sale of them. Nobody will stop the making of the guns.
So you're not jumping up and down saying Second Amendment, you can't have it? Okay.
No, because guess what? Nobody knew I had it until I disclosed that I had it.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
saying I have it,
Mhm.
but guess what? I do have it.
Mhm.
But like I said, I got smaller caliber guns that I have, but I don't carry a gun. I lived like that before. I don't do that now.
Mm-hmm.
And but God bless me. After 18 years in the streets, running the streets, I've been on my job 20 years. I don't look over my shoulder anymore. I give the message of love. That's why I got stars on my arm. I'm my daddy's star. My daddy gave me the name A Showboat. I just put my name GP, the Showboat. I entertain people. I give good times with me and Tracy DJ. Wherever I'm at, you give me the mic and the lights on. I'm ready. That's what I do. Walk to you.
Okay. Okay.
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
I'm very passionate about people who do what's right to have a gun should have one. Because you tell me how's a gun law going to stop people from getting guns? It's criminals that's having guns. And people going to always be able to get a dirty gun on the street.
Yeah.
So you telling me I'm a law-abiding citizen and I don't have a right to have a gun protect me? And these laws not going to stop me from getting no gun.
Right.
It's not.
Sorry.
People kill people with guns. Guns don't kill people.
Right.
Yeah. And if they call
Got a
it,
problem with that.
yeah. I just feel like if it becomes a law against having the guns, then people will find a way to get them anyway. Like when Tyler wasn't wet, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
when you couldn't get
Right.
alcohol. I mean, I don't drink, but I do know people would go to the line or whatever.
That's right.
And bring it back into Tyler. So that, yeah. And then you had people that were selling it out of their homes
Right.
though.
Bootlegging.
They
Yeah.
were making it available. So I
Right.
think that it's still, somebody's still gonna find a way to sell
Right.
guns.
And just to chime on that, look at Chicago.
Every weekend,
They got the
60, 70
strongest gun
people.
laws in America, and
Mhm.
every day they shooting people. They got more guns than they done collected anywhere in the world.
Right.
Wow.
So how does gun laws stop people from killing people?
Okay. So
What? Let me answer that.
It
What if
doesn't.
we prosecute the gun offenders with the same energy that we do the drug offenders, particularly the ones of color?
So well, let me ask you a question. I got a problem with that too.
Okay.
Why is it that we giving people so many years for selling drugs when we got people who rape kids?
Oh yeah, that needs to be flipped.
Yeah.
We got people who
That needs to
shoot
be flipped.
people.
I don't think they need to be flipped. I think they need to offset each other. You get the same sentence.
Don't make no
for doing
sense to
that.
me.
You know.
They out in a year.
I think one's harsher than the other.
No, I think both of them ought to be harsh.
And all you gotta say is you were
Just
60.
like the guy that killed my uncle. All that guy was 20 years. I got the rest of my life. And I'm a taxpayer. I'm making sure they eat while they down there and they get out. I get letters periodically in the mail. I just turn them up. You know. How would you? I mean, that's what I tell people that's making these laws. How would you feel if someone took one of your loved ones and then y'all started writing them a letter? I get a letter in the mail. Herman Moore III. He's getting out eligible for parole. Then they want me to write on a piece of paper that I feel like he need to get out. Is he rehabilitated? No, he ain't rehabilitated. No.
Yeah.
But killing is one of the commandments. It's wrong.
Absolutely.
And
You know,
less
it's wrong.
time than people doing all
It's wrong.
kind of horrible things, silent mind.
Like the episode of Good Times, they got the technology to put a man on the moon, but you can't stop drugs and guns.
Yeah.
Because it's
They
too
can't
much money for the government. I don't care what they say. They make money off of it. Guns, buying trucks for police officers, buying guns for police officers, and everything else. They use the dirty money just like the criminals.
Yeah.
And when we talk about people taking someone's life, I'm sorry what happened to your family member. And I've talked about my husband being murdered 8 months ago, December the 15th, here in Tyler. He was murdered. And the gentleman was, caught, and he's there in going to be serving some time, but the case hadn't came up yet. So when the case comes up, then I'll be in that situation as well of having to, deal with when they decide to release him. And it's just really devastating to have a loved one to life be taken gunshot.
Yeah, and I will say this, and me being there, if you're on any kind of blood pressure medications and stuff, make sure you take your medications, have plenty of liquids, and try not to get too emotional because they gonna pull up everything from the person's past, and then it's not gonna offset nothing. But then they gonna get time served for the time they've been in there.
So when they do the court case, they do that.
So I'm just letting you know what just a fraction of what you're in for.
Yeah.
Now just you're gonna see pictures, you're gonna hear things. Some things you may know, some things you may not know.
Yeah.
Just continue to pray.
Yeah. And my thing is, we have a son. My son is 15. Still talk about him like he's still here. I'm sorry. My son is 15. Well, he just turned 16. I'm sorry. He just turned 16 this past week.
Okay.
And he was probably like, "Mom, you forgot my birthday." And I really don't want him to be there in the court. In that, I don't even want him to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I don't want him to have to hear the things that they're going to talk about. And because it's devastating. Like he told me, his mom. It's not like my dad died from natural causes. He was murdered. Right. So I ended up having to take my son to counseling. He didn't want to go to counseling, but I told him, I said, well, I need to go to counseling when you go with Mom. And that's kind of how I kind of
got him to go.
Yeah. I had to do that.
That's the first
reverse psychology on it. So and then he wanted to go because most men are very, very protective of their mother. So he's very protective of me. So when I said I need to go, then he said, well, Mom, I'll go with you. And so that's how I was able to get him into counseling. Right. But just the fact that his dad was murdered, it was just devastating to him. So I just don't want him to be in that courtroom when they talk about everything that transpired to that event.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Very understandable.
I'm not sure if I even want to be there. I definitely want my son there.
I feel like we're backtracking a little bit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was gonna say. I would agree. I think everybody in this room would agree. Besides maybe some practical applications like with hogs, guns are a bad thing. Drugs are a bad thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If I could press a button, you know what I'm saying, right now, get rid of all of it. Doesn't exist on the earth anymore. I'd be in favor of that.
I would too, but as long as it's supply and demand,
that's the problem. That's the problem.
If you don't give it to them, somebody gonna get it. Somebody on the street.
Man.
We don't make guns.
Right.
We don't fly planes. Our drugs keep getting hurt.
Right.
That's just
like
an example.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I know.
That's why when you have break-ins and pawn shops anywhere, they're selling them, and that's how guns get transported. If they feel like they're gonna get caught up here, that's why they transport it elsewhere and sold. You gonna always have a gun somewhere. You gonna always have a criminal of some kind.
And a lot of these guns got bodies on them.
Yeah.
They dirty. They just pass them to the next killer.
Yeah.
You're not gonna stop it.
But my dad them always told me, if you do have a gun, put it accessible for you to get to it, that you know that you have one. And all my years of growing up, my dad only had maybe 4 guns in the house, and I knew where they all were at all times. I never went and pulled them. And my grandpa them, they was hunting. Like I said, we grew up out on the farm and stuff. There was recreation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they picked up guns. Some of my cousins picked up shooting. They went to the military. I picked up a rod and reel. I went fishing. That's what I call myself, a fishing god. Every time I go out there, I'm kissing a fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, that led me to who I am today.
Yeah.
So you're a fisherman of men.
Oh, yeah.
That's what God.
Amen. Fisherman of men. Amen. But I was going to say something about guns being in the home, like you were just saying. My dad had a rifle. We never touched it. He used it for hunting because, they always have the coon. They hunt for those coon and try to get us to eat that stuff. I don't remember eating no coon, but anyway.
I'm sleeping in
I don't remember it. But my mom said I did. I'm like, I would never touch that stuff now.
Yeah.
But we never touched his rifle. But it was there. He used it for. So I think all that is just depends on the upbringing, as far as how you deal with guns and everything in the home. So.
You're right.
And a lot of times, parents need to be more alert to what girls or guys, they have kids as young, be alert and see what's going on. All these video games now, when I was coming up, a computer was just taking off. Look at the technology now. You can play video games on your phone and on the computer. Hey, all we had just a regular IBM Macintosh at the school. That's all we had. And they were teaching us that.
Yeah, we
Technology
started
came.
IBM
Then you got
floppy disks.
you gaming and stuff like that.
typewriters.
All these shooting games, Grand Theft Auto. Hey, some of those games, y'all as a parent got to pull some of those games. Watch your kids. See if you can get them to pick up a book and develop them in a book.
Yeah.
My dad used to always say, "Hey, cut that TV off. Let's go outside and leave."
Yeah.
He put these hands to work.
Yeah.
Weed slinger, they call it, y'all know what all that is. Weed eater, lawnmower, something like that. In the summertime, we was outside. There's no such thing as you being 9 through 12 years old and you're not outside, you're not doing that. Hey, come on. Come on, shout out to my whole
We stayed
family.
outside all
Everybody
day.
knew.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. And then in the evening when my dad got out, in the evening on a day like this, we can go down to, I'm from here to the across the street. The lake was that far from the house. All I had to do is, hey, Dad, can I go fishing? What you done today? We did this, we done that. So we done honest day work, we ain't do nothing. We didn't vandalize nothing. Hey, grandma said, hey, they was good today. We down to the lake, we fishing. We stay on that just about all night. If we catch some, we take them home, and we either put them, leave them in the water, in a bucket overnight, we clean them in the morning. Next morning, we get up early, we got something to do, we clean the fish. And by 12
Putting in
o'clock-
work.
By 12 o'clock noon, so the sun got ready to get up, we call it Ray Baker. Time the sun get up, guess what? The fish is already clean. My grandpa, here, we're going to go take y'all in town, we're going to go get the stuff, we're going to cook it. That's what we done.
Yeah.
So then you got the benefits of all your labor.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, we want to talk about, I'm going to segue right into benefits of labor, which worked for Ezekiel Elliott, who is now the highest paid running back in the history of the NFL. Do I have that right?
So did he get the deal?
Yes.
Well, they signed it already? Or they
Earlier
just
today,
talking
was it
about
not?
Jerry, I think you need to put your money on hold for a little while.
Really?
Yeah, them 6 games that he didn't get to play.
Me too.
Misbehaving, you don't reward bad
I don't think it's
behavior.
a bad behavior neither. I'm a Cowboy fan.
You want a 5-year deal? What have you done in the last 3 years to be there, other than get in trouble?
It says they have agreed to a 5-year, $65 million extension.
I think you need to agree to a 5-year, $10 million. You worth 10.
I kind of agree with that on the field and I'll feel, you know, you're a superstar. You know, kids look up to you. They want to do what you do. They might feel it's okay to be a knucklehead. I can play ball, be a knucklehead.
But guess what?
Ain't gotta go to class. Loaf on the field. You know, he loafed on the field a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So I mean, character is everything to me.
And even in college, he was getting into stuff.
I mean, he still had a 2-year deal on his contract. I mean, I don't know.
But my thing though, he needs to honor that and put up something before they go ahead and
what
you
is
trying
this
to hold
message?
out.
What is this message saying to the rest of the team? All I gotta do is say I ain't gonna comply.
All you got to do is wait,
I do
and
what
then
I
the
want.
last one to sign is going to be the highest paid.
Hey, and you just hit the nail on the head.
I just
Because they were
wait.
just talking about on sports TV. You know,
Mhm.
that by holding out, you be the last guy. You know, you get what you want. You know,
Mhm.
Boy, and they was talking about how Todd Gurley, you know, the team just gave him a deal they didn't feel like he deserved. It kind of set the platform for other running backs. So, for example, Le'Veon Bell just done the same prior thing,
Yeah.
and the New York Jets picked him up. So I guess Zeke just looking at, hey, look, this the foreman right here. Hey, look, they getting paid. I'm running the ball more than anybody. I think I deserve it. But at the same time, you're not.
Or his agent said that.
You're not honoring the contract that you signed either as a man. What does that say? Though?
Right.
How much of that is Ezekiel Elliott, and how much input does he actually have, or is that totally his agent telling him, Zeke, I got this. I'm representing you. Trust me on this. Here's how it's gonna
I think it's a
happen.
little bit of both.
I think it's more.
He
Zeke.
got an ego problem.
You think it's
I
more
don't know
Zeke
what
than the
you say.
agent?
Yeah.
He feel like what he think he the franchise of Dallas.
Yeah.
And you're not able to wear that franchise tag again. What have you done? You know, you know your yards. Emmitt Smith, his yards spoke for himself.
Right?
You know, only thing his actions is speaking a little bit more than what his yardage is up to. He been held out for 6 games.
Yeah, but Emmett got 3
you
Super
know.
Bowl rings.
But I'm getting to that. But Emmett was dedicated to wearing the franchise tag. What does this dude right here showing?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, a dedication. That's why I tell my daughter, if you're dedicated to doing something, you're going to sign up to do it.
He sound like he do anything for money.
Yeah, well, I know what I'm saying. And the agent, man, I can't do this like my cousin Matthew Tucker. He should have been still playing with the Eagles. He in the off field now. He gave up on it. His brother Emmanuel came out right out of East Texas State. And I got another little cousin named Joshua Wheeler. He's 6'6". And he young. And he just came out of East Texas State in Commerce. He hungry. He trying to play. No cats like that, they don't get noticed. Sometimes you may not be able to get the big contract to go on. But as long as you playing, hard work and dedication. Hey, somebody gonna recognize whether it's with that team. There's too many other teams in the league.
Right.
And there's a lot of people coming in that's able to play. A lot of people that ain't able to play. I'm not taking all the hits and bumps and bruises. They taking them. So they could have got Marshawn Lynch cheaper than him.
But what I wanted to say, what you say about him being the man, this and that, but what we learned from Bo Jackson, it don't take but one play to be over.
Right. That's it.
So who's to say that is he gonna get us a ring? He might be hurt.
Well, I'm just saying, that's Jerry talking. Everybody listening with Jerry talk. See, when Jimmy Johnson was up there, Jimmy was doing all that. Jerry wasn't saying nothing. Get you hire you a coach and then sit back. Look at Al Davis and the Raiders. They had the best team built for football. They never won it. Earl Campbell, my cousin, he never won one.
I know what you mean.
And he's a shambles of a man now. He had several back surgeries and fell down in the tub, but he's still here. And they recognize him and stuff like that. All the other cats, he can't rub off on them. He's an old man now. They can look at his high school footage and his college days and stuff from the NFL, what he did, big as he was. And when he came along, wasn't nobody as big as him. So Zeke got to realize one thing. It's a whole industry called the NFL. And whether he playing or not, somebody else will have that slot.
That's true.
And if he got at $65 million, they may get $2 million. And have a breakout season, they may win it with him. Who's to say he won't get hurt?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you need to be humble and come to work.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of time, man, you're an athlete, you still travel in cars. Anything can happen. Just stay off of motorcycles. That's the only thing most of those closets do. When you the franchise, and you look at it like my quarterback Tom Brady, not throw that out there like that. But I'm saying it's the reason why he's the leader of that team. And if Belichick had Ezekiel up there, and he would tell him, you go on, we'll put somebody else in your spot. We can get two for the price of one.
Wow.
That's how they go.
Right.
Okay.
But sometimes these announcers, they open up their mouth a little too much. Don't say you hold out. Sometimes, you be the wagon with the least in it make the most noise. And sometimes, you can hold out and get what you want. Sometimes you're not able to. That's not sending a message. My daughter, she at the mall now. They got a ride. And I got to go pick them up. And I asked her that before. It cost me $40. So when I see her, I got to figure out what went on. How the three of y'all young ladies get left at the mall.
And to piggyback on what you're talking about being on with this and that, Prime Time was a great example. He started out, he showed what he could do, and then other teams seen what he was worth.
Right.
He's one of the first cornerbacks that wrote his own check. Because Jerry pretty much taught how to write your own check.
I call off the back.
But he was on though. What I'm trying to get at, Prime Time put it on the field. He showed what he could do. And then once he showed what he could do, hey, look here, everybody's trying to get you.
Yeah.
That's an example,
But when he became prime time, he was larger than football.
Yeah.
When he started making mistakes. And then when he got to Dallas, he had a ride. He was a good cornerback at that time. When he was in Atlanta, they got the hype.
Yeah.
It was hype. The hype was on. He became Deion Prime Time. Everybody, when he came to Dallas, had that club Prime Time 21. Everybody was coming. I mean, I like a good athlete, but if you're overrated, I'll say you're overrated.
Well, I'm just talking about the ethics. That's
I'm just saying. But I'm saying.
That's what we're trying to get.
That's what I'm saying. Zeke, he's overrated for the $65 million.
Yes, I think so.
Heavily overrated.
He would be the highest paid running back in history.
Yeah, he would be.
65 million.
But I can't hate on the man Wallet because he can step on.
Oh, I ain't hating on him.
He can let him down and step on it. He be taller than me.
I mean, if he can make it happen, it happen. No, but it's
Yeah.
just the way to do everything. That's all.
Anybody seen Dave Chappelle's special on Netflix?
I watched
just saw it
some of
yesterday.
it.
Some
I
of
watched
it?
Some of it.
What they talking about?
What did you think? Everybody's talking about
David
it.
is being David. I didn't
Yeah.
even watch the whole thing. Controversy. Some of the things he said,
Mhm.
it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave being Dave.
You heard him step on toes. You heard him hurt feelings.
Yeah, he did do that, and yeah.
And one about Juice Smollett or whatever. So yeah.
Mhm. But you know what though? And when you come to see a stand-up comic, you
Right.
expect the unexpected.
Right.
You can't have your sleeves on your shirt and put your heart on it too. So you get your bubble busted.
You know, Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, they was kind of raw themselves too. They said whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
This one here, Dave, man, you need to catch it.
That's how
I'm about 45 minutes into it, and I think I'm gonna catch the rest of it
Somebody
tonight.
talk
Oh,
shit.
yeah, it's good. I mean, I think he touched on a lot of important topics. And the thing is, they're all jokes, and I think that's the big thing that his message was trying to come across as. I mean, there was some of it where I was like, man, I don't even know if I should laugh at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've gotten into this culture where it's everybody's offended by something, and you got people, that are getting shows canceled, or saying their careers are ending over
Something they said.
Something they might have said. I mean, not to. It's not good to put hate out there in the world, but it's also hard, I think, when everyone's trying not to offend everybody. Everyone wants to be PC and all that, but you got stuff constantly changing, constantly evolving. Anyway, that was a big message that I took from the show. And, it was a little bit refreshing.
Yeah.
He was getting a lot of flack for the show. There was that news article, I think it was on Vice or something.
Yeah.
Saying, just skip over the show. They's being misogynists or, homophobic, everything else.
So of course now, even if I wasn't going to watch it, since I heard that, now I gotta watch it. Now I gotta see what he was being misogynist about. What's all the controversy?
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna make it a priority to see it. So they actually, And then didn't he do 2, or he's got another one coming, or he signed a deal for 2 and did?
This one here, he said he had been sitting down for a while, and he said people want him to come back. He said, well, blank, I don't know why I'm gonna come back, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this one here, see how this one flows over for you.
I see.
And that's what I mean. I used to like different types of comedy. I never could get into Bill Cosby or Red Fox. The Wonder Page kind of touched me a little bit, and Robert Harris kind of touched me a little bit. But you have to be living in some times to understand why these are the way that he think. But if you ever follow any comedian, you just don't get a body of work that's completed over here and not know the history of who they were at Comedy Central when he was there. He did a lot of skits and stuff like that. But over here, he's just telling like he sees it, and like I say, it's kind of hard to depict. I don't want to give it away in case y'all want to watch it.
I do. I'm going to do it tonight.
Some of the issues and some of the things he say, it makes sense, but you have to put yourself in a perspective.
Right.
And then
if you just hear the clip,
yeah,
you'll get it twisted.
Right.
You'll get offended.
It's like he's this way, but like I said, he's in an interracial marriage.
Right.
And
people forget that.
He touched on that. And like I said, hey, homophobic. Right now, I'm not homophobic, but hey, if it touched somebody that's in there, I'm sure it was a couple of dozen of them in there. Hey, they came and see what, hey, it's unrestricted. This dude has no filter. That's what he get paid to do. Hey, you give me 120 million, I'll walk up and down this table right here.
Right.
Yeah. That would have taken me to get paid at the end of the show.
Right.
I'm waiting on the mailbox. Hey, I'm checking her this week. Oh, I'm checking her this next week. Residual money.
Right.
So we just go back and like saying I'm gonna finish it, and then we can touch base again on the next week.
See how offended I am, or how offended I am not. I'm probably gonna be in the not offended category. It's really hard to. One thing that offended me, there was a man and a woman in Oklahoma last week. They do like a after the Today Show kind of talk show for that local Oklahoma area. It's like a local version of their, that morning news block. Well, black male, white female, co-hosting the show. And they were doing a story about a gorilla at the zoo for whatever reason. And at the end of the story, it's just part of TV and radio that you have time to feel, where you just kind of freestyle or ad-lib or whatever you want to call it. And during that portion, the white female said to the black male about the gorilla that they were doing the story about, she said, that gorilla looks kind of like you.
Oh my
Exactly.
goodness.
Exactly. And if you see the clip, I don't know if we have it, but if you see the clip, the guy just kind of sits there for a second like he's
He was in Oklahoma.
like he's stunned, and then the guy trying to cover for her, he says, well, actually the gorilla does kind of look like me. Tried to cover for her. Well, you can imagine what the aftermath of that was. So she's on the air the next day, and she's crying and she's apologizing.
I don't buy it.
And exactly.
I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
Exactly.
She said what she felt.
Right.
I mean,
Well, on the cool though, with his head turned like this. If I was playing a dozen, hey, he knew. Hey, look at it. Hey, but if we were playing a dozen, I'll tell him he looked like that monkey was on TV. But for her to keep her
But she
job.
gone to her, man. She,
Yeah.
it's different.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
hey, sometimes, man, they're like I clown and cut up at work.
Yeah.
Like when Walter coming over there, I'm not gonna stop crapping on somebody because Walter coming. When Walter come over, he
But
just
you
say,
ain't on the air, man.
You know, well, I
But you ain't
understand.
on the air.
Yeah,
I like
Yeah.
how Cosell said, look at that monkey.
Look at that little monkey. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Now that was just.
I'm just saying, man. I was staring, talking about the little girls are playing basketball.
Back up, man.
That was not right.
I'm just saying,
That
man.
was not
She
right.
was trying to be funny. That ain't the point.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness. He don't
just-
look like that
hey,
monkey.
I
know.
think if you said it, you need to own it. That's my thing. She don't really,
She owned it, but she
always said-
apologized.
She already said to keep her job.
She has to apologize
To
to
keep
her
her job.
Yeah.
And she kept
But
her
it's-
job,
and
which
she
was the
said
amazing
that.
thing to me. I've been fired a whole lot more for a whole lot less. How did she get to keep her
It's
job?
to me.
Right.
It's not.
No. Cause that's how America is.
That's true.
I'm just being for real, man.
That's true.
I mean, I can give you an example.
Oh, she didn't mean it. People are just too sensitive.
Can we
take a picture with
you?
What's
Yeah.
up?
You know what I'm saying? You think I look like a monkey?
No, everybody, you say shit, man.
You look like a parrot.
You look like Gleek on
Hold
Super
on,
Friends.
hold on.
You look like Gleek on Super Friends.
Oh
Gleek on Super
Hold on,
Friends.
hold on. So this is me back in the 8th grade.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
Like I said, look like
I'm just saying though.
Nah. You look more like a parrot with the beard.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
I thought that was my long lost cousin.
Oh, yeah?
I saw.
I thought it was Richard Cunningham.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought
You got a little Richard Cunningham.
I was looking in the mirror.
That's
You know
too
what I'm saying?
funny.
With the little haircut, with the straight
Yeah.
mole on the Three Stooges.
Hey, you
Bang.
that.
Trying to tell you.
With his bangs is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
With his little bangs. I want to hear the story, if you feel like it, the story of Cry Me a River.
Cry River.
Cry a River.
Yeah. The story Cry River, the song was actually written the moment that I went to bed the night that my husband was murdered. It's ironic, but I'm a person that I hear my songs in my dreams. When I'm asleep, I hear songs. I've been doing it since I was a little girl. So I began to hear the melody to the song when I went to bed. And I was still in shock because I kept waiting for my husband to come home. I could still smell his cologne. It was like I could still feel him still there in the room with me. So I cried maybe just for a second when they told me that what had happened to him. But after that, I wouldn't cry anymore. I was just in this state of shock. So God began to give me this melody that I began to hear in my head.
Immediately,
The same night that it happened. And so each night I would hear the song. And so then I got in touch with Mike in Motion because I was doing a performance at the Tyler City Theater with it was Motown Christmas Groove. And that's how I met Michael Dean there.
Okay.
So I had given me his card. So I called him. I said, hey, I need to do a video. And he was like, okay. But before I did that, I got in touch with my producer and I said, I need to record a song. So I was in the studio and he was like, whoa, you're here in the studio. And he was thinking, this woman just lost her husband. But it was something that I had to do it was like therapy for me. So as I began to hear the song, as God gave it to me, I went into the studio, I recorded the song, and then I got in touch with Mike in Motion and we began to do the video. And so it became a therapy song for me. And then once I heard the song, once it was finished and I had a chance to hear it, I began to cry. I began to weep. I began to mourn over my husband. But at first I wouldn't cry. So it was a song that it became a healing song to me.
okay.
It helped me to heal. It helped me
Give me a
to-
feel for the song, some of the words, the phrases in it that did that.
Okay. Just want me to say it or sing it?
Whatever you feel like.
Oh, okay, all right. It's hard to say it and not sing it.
Okay.
It starts off with Ecclesiastes 3:1. It talks about the time to live and the time to die. And it's time to live, time to die. Oh, how I wish there were no more goodbyes. 'Cause time won't stand. No, time won't stand. So I'll cry a river. I'll cry a river that I could do was just cry a river. And some people, I know there was there was a song that was called Cry Me a River.
Right.
So they kind of sneaked that me in there.
Mm-hmm. I see.
I have to tell them that it's Cry a River.
Cry a
because
river.
that's what I did. I just actually, only thing that that could do was Cry a River. So when I finished recording the song, I went to the memorial site. I can't say cemetery. I still have a hard time with that. And my counselor told me that if I have to just say memorial site, it's okay. So I went to the memorial site and I played the song for my husband there, and I just cried along as I played it, and it just became a therapy song for me. Some people may say it's a sad song, but it was therapy for me, because here it is 8 months later, and people still don't believe that this happened in my life, because the way that God has strengthened me.
So it was your way of saying bye, kind of. So
It was, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Coping. at the same
Yeah, because I was like, there's nothing I can do to bring him back.
Right.
But the only thing that I could do was just cry a river, because at first I wouldn't cry, and it was like God gave me something to be able to cope with it and to process the fact that he wasn't coming back through the door. And the cologne that I was smelling was the cologne that just lingered in the house when he was there. But he's not coming in that house anymore. And so, and even at night, and it's funny, but you know, when you're married, you do little things that you remember. And I was a person that at night my feet are ice cold, and I wouldn't put on socks. I would just press my feet next to his body, and he's like, "Baby, your feet are cold." And that night I cried because my feet were so cold, but I couldn't press my feet next to his body. I said, well, I guess I'm about to get him to go put on some socks. So I had to find the laughter in everything, and I said, honey, you're not here for me to put my cold feet on, and you won't keep warm me. But God just began to show me that song was a therapy song. And so when other people hear the song, they say the same thing. They say, man, that song is really, really touched me.
They can apply it to something in their
Yes. A lot of people that are grieving, they relate to that song.
And it's passion and it's authentic.
Yeah.
It's it can't be duplicated.
No. And then the video, oh my goodness, the video is even so amazing. And Mike in Motion, he'll tell you, he was just amazed at the strength that God had given me to do the video.
We're going to post the
Because it
video
just
on our
happened,
page, too.
Yeah, so he was just like, he just couldn't believe that I was actually doing a video, and I was actually mourning the death of my husband.
Can we play like a little bit around to let the fans out there see a little bit?
I'm gonna have to leave and go get my baby. She's
Okay.
on text me.
Time to live, time to die. Oh, how I wish there were no more goodbyes. Time won't stand. Time won't stand. So I'll cry a river. I'll cry time won't subside. And oh, how I wish there were no more goodbyes. Oh, time, you won't even stand. Oh, I'll just cry. Oh, river, I'll just cry. Oh, river, I'll just cry. Oh, river, 'cause time won't stand. No, time won't lend a helping hand. So I'll just cry a river. I'll cry a river. Cry a river.
That's what I'm talking
Wow.
about.
Wow. We all felt that.
Yeah.
We all felt that. And the video producer does do great work. And your daughter, you have a twin.
Yes.
You have a twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's darker.
And them vocals was up there.
You know what? If you want to sing the new single, we'd love to hear it. But I mean, how do you follow up?
You can't follow that way.
Yeah,
Can't top that.
You can't.
that was, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, sure you don't want to get in the book.
man, it's hard to outdo that one. We'll just go to
You have to come
the
back again and do all right. On
yeah.
Saturday.
We'll just be there. We'll hear that on Saturday because
Yeah.
I mean I don't know if we can outdo that. So we'll just
section. Hey.
yeah.
Speak easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just put on our chill music and back on out then, and I'll wrap up with, are you black?
You got me saying.
Do you live in Tyler? Do you own a business? Are you looking for free advertising? Well, we'll do it for you. And if you know me, if you know my history, it ain't going to be free for long. But we're going to do it to prove that we can do it. As you get ready for the Small Business Festival that's coming up in October at the Empire Lounge. Meanwhile, if you want some free advertising, get at us on one of our social media pages, and we can talk about it. Already.
Well, Speakeasy World, I guess we're going to wrap it up for today, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody that's tuned in today, you know what I'm saying? And every week, you know what I'm saying? Catch us, you know what I'm saying? Back again in the studio next week.
And with that being said, special thanks to Miss Barbara Cox.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And she got it, y'all. She gonna be Saturday over there at the Glass Center. She gonna be shooting a video, and she's gonna be dropping a new single.
Yes.
What's the name of the single?
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All
That's
right.
it's gonna be all
And
right.
what time
Oh, yeah.
should be shooting?
Yeah.
8:30 a.m.
8:30 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yeah, y'all come root our own, and where Speakeasy will be in the house.
Big represent, baby.
Praise
Yeah.
God. Thank you.
Y'all wake up early to get there.
That's a little early for me, GP, but you know what? I'm going to set an alarm. I'm going to do it.
all right.
Especially for Saturday morning.
Yeah, for Saturday morning,
We're
yeah.
just trying
but
to get there while it's still cool.
That's true. That's true. I'm
you
going to
wait
do
too late, it's gonna be too hot.
Right.
I'm on Miss Barbara. Last but not least, I want her herself to tell you where y'all can find her music at.
Please do.
Awesome. You can purchase my music on all social outlets. I'm on all social outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Barbara Cox Music. Also, I have a website, Barbara Cox Productions. And also I have a internet radio, which is Barbara Cox Radio. You can download the app, Barbara Cox Radio, BC Radio as well.
Barbara,
Awesome.
thank you for joining
And
us.
she
Yes.
left out one other thing. Tell them how you can get the hold of those books you got.
Oh, okay. You can
That's
also
right.
go on Amazon.com and get any of
Hear Me
the,
Roar.
of the books. And also Barnes & Noble has some of the books as well.
Hear Me Roar
Hear Me
and Sing Gal
Roar.
Sing.
Sing Gal Sing.
Yeah, she just sung a while ago.
She
y'all.
sure did.
Y'all need to put that
Amen.
out.
And nobody told me to shut up.
They better not.
And nobody will. Thank you for joining us.
With that being said, y'all, we'll see y'all next week on Rabbit Hole 10 Underground.